Holding on to normal is what Alana Somerville told herself when she was diagnosed with cancer in 2010. Now cancer-free, Alana's journey has been published by Simon & Schuster. We caught up with her at Chapters in St. Catharines.
So it's basically like the story of how I overcame it and, how I ended up in the end healthier, happier, stronger.
That's actually a really interesting title, Holding On to Normal, because as you know, going through your cancer journey, that's something you really have to tell yourself every day. So tell me how that became your mantra.
Well, I was very lucky that my children were so young at the time. So they were 3 and 6 months old. So for me, I had no choice but to kind of keep life normal. I had to just get on with day to day. And that was actually really helpful for me because it didn't allow me to sort of wallow in self-pity and to just mope around about it. So I think because of the situation I was in, it forced me to just keep life normal, and I think that's kind of what helped me get through it.
Alana's story first appeared in a self-published book called Kemosabe Cancer Warrior. She then took some of the determination she used in her fight against cancer into securing a book deal.
I had done a book signing here at Chapters, actually, because that's how you sort of start to get your book in the store. And after that book signing was done, what happened was that I was sort of super excited about it because I had sold 50 copies that day. So I reached out to Indigo, to a guy named Jeremy Cammey, and we immediately started a conversation about, he believed in it. He believed in the possibility. And for 3 years, we chatted back and forth. And finally, he said, you know what, I think I need to introduce you to somebody at Simon & Schuster, to Kevin Hansen. And that day I said, okay, well, can I go visit him today? And he said, well, it's not how it works. If he doesn't want to read your book, he doesn't like it, he just want to meet you. So, I sent him the book, and 3 weeks later they said, yeah, we're interested. So it was pretty amazing.
So from the day that you actually talked to Kevin, but the process isn't that easy. There must have been editing and rewrites, because you first self-published to the book that it is today. Is it the same book?
It's the same story, but it is much more in depth. It's much more vulnerable. It gives a lot more detail of what I went through, because I don't think the first time I wanted to let it all out. I don't think I was ready to let it all out. So yeah, it was about a 2-year process, probably from the day that I met him till today. I'd say it's roughly 2 years, and a year straight of editing, with my own personal editor that we worked back and forth with. And yeah, so it's the same story, but it's much more open and honest.
Alana, we know that there are several stories like yours out there. What is it about your story that really resonates with those who read it?
I think for my book, it was very real and very honest and raw, maybe. But I think too, it's not just about breast cancer. It's about, everybody faces challenges in life, and it's about overcoming that. And I think it's how you handle those challenges in life that kind of defines you. And you can handle it and keep your head up and stay strong about it, or you can go the other route. But I think that when I'm faced with a challenge, one of my mom and I, our favorite quote lately is, a strong woman looks a challenge in the eye and gives it a wink. And that's kind of how I think of it all, right? So when I'm faced with a challenge now, it's just, okay, I'm just gonna do it. It's just how I do it. That's the question.
Last thing I want to ask you is about the importance of advocating for women's health. So tell me a little bit about that.
So absolutely. I think that, when I was first diagnosed, I knew that something was wrong, and I really pushed to get the treatment that I needed to get, with the people that I trusted. Obviously we need to be our own advocates. We have to know what our normal is, and when something's not right, you absolutely have to push. I mean, not saying that, I know better than a doctor, not at all. But, when my, first doctor told me I had to wait 6 weeks for surgery, I just wasn't okay with that. And I had to, get in somewhere else sooner. And I'm so glad that I did, because, if I didn't, I'm not sure if I'd be here right now. So it's really important to advocate for yourself, totally.
You can locate a copy of Alana's book at any Chapters across Canada or online at chapters.ca. In St. Catharines, reporting for The Source, I'm Lori Taraba.